It's in the game.
Stop me, oh, somebody stop me. Stop me, stop me, somebody stop me. Stop me, stop me, oh, somebody stop me. Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, please stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Stop me. And Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, please stop me. Somebody stop me, stop me, oh, somebody stop me. Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, please stop me.
I let my birds come in. Sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. LED logo the tag. I go in back of the. They all from it. My diamonds, they all look at this, that. I go to bed on bed. I got the demon on flats. I got a in the back. Ladies, they talk the chat. They step on the rock, the man. I'm a K-back. 400K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they screaming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in the jelly, they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, my we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, my we never ran. Down there, thought that I had a fan. Oh, hey, any 10 o'clock, got a flight out, yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I go to hotels when I step out, yeah, your boy got a doorman. I go to nightclubs with a yeah, they call me the madman. I ain't no madman, I just go crazy, man. Ball hard, can't face, man. Choppers, rip wasteland. This what happen when you give it a taste life, then you give it a wasteland. This what happens when you give it a fake life, then the aping. I let my birds come in. Sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. I let my birds come in. Sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's head over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa for the call of this one. We bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
This will be fielded at the 6. And now running right through it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for Devontae Booker. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing is Keenum. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Left side here to Sanders. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, 30 yards. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted, was it an audible, or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And he is not going to make it. They stop him up short, and this will remain a 6-0 ball game. Now McManus on to kick this one off. On the return, this is Jaquiz Rogers. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here.
Defense.
And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
3 down. Ready? Black 22. What's that?
And they'll run it here. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Darian Stewart there to bring him down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
We got 4. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go. Single receiver. Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Ready?
Now a second down throw for Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They go play action here on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
The give is to Jones. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Jameis to throw it. And he finds Howard complete, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Winston now from the 50. And this is caught by Jackson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now Jones. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little bit.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Brandon Marshall in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long.
Ready. White 25.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Charles Sims, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Bucs are just an extra point away from grabbing the lead now. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. He's been good so far to this point in the 2nd quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunity.
Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Demaryius Thomas, 75 yards. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your turkey bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now Jameis on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On second down, it's Jones. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ready. White 25.
To throw, Winston. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And his throw here is incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it's 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Winston. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Ready. Blue ready. Let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Ready. Blue waiting. Let's go.
Second down, Winston. And his throw is incomplete. Charles Sims, the intended target. And that'll make it third down.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
The Bucs on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is third down and 12. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the...
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Von Miller coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Third and goal, Winston. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Keenum on 2nd down. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the deep.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. But he will not make the 1st down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, They look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. First down, Winston. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Adam Humphries, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there. Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy. And, of course, when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots, with all of their championships, probably underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. On the return, it's Ryan Smith. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Jameis now on first down. Throw right side caught by O.J. Howard. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
And a catch right side by Evans. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
Winston now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Now Winston. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Ready. Blue ready.
Again, it's Winston. He goes full extension, and he's got it. That one goes for 24 yards.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end.
Hey, ready. Blue ready.
A give to Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And this is caught by Evans. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is taken at his 4. Oh, and now he bowls him over. They're spinning now. And they finally get to him, but not before he's past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 46. Now it's Keenum. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Emmanuel Sanders, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. Rodgers on the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And he stopped immediately there. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll go again to Jones, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. This is Jones. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ready. 125.
Back now in Tampa. All even as we get ready to start the fourth.
Ready. Blue ready.
Here's Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Winston. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. In a tie game fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Winston. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing, Winston. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. When you're in a zone like he is, what's the conversation like on the sideline between he and his quarterback? Is that a one-way conversation of, hey, just keep getting me the football?
It actually is probably a two-way conversation because he wants to keep getting him the football because he's seeing the payoff. You know, getting the ball to that guy means yardage, and as we've seen, touchdowns in this game. So I think both of them get more and more excited about the possibilities as things continue on.
Yeah, so far it's been over 100 yards and the 2 scores. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they've got the football, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He'll get it up the middle. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Broncos will take over on downs. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. But on the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow.
And got his man complete. Keenum finding Sanders for a big one. And even 40 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Going for the deep. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Deshaun Hamilton, 48 yards. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. Now Keenum. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. Rodgers on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd down, Winston again. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard. 3rd down here.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
He's got Evans. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Ready. Blue ready.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down. A first down throw for Winston. A dump off to Sims. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard. Here's Winston. And Winston lost the football. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They'll throw again. Winston. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Jameis to throw it. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yes, exactly right.
To throw is Keenum. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and that's caught inside the 35. Demaryius Thomas, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Demaryius Thomas, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Keenum, it's complete, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw is Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sims. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Ready? Black 22.
Winston on 3rd and 2. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Winston over the middle to Evans. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Winston now to throw on first down. He gets it to Sims, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To the air again with Winston. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
On 3rd down, Winston. That'll be Incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Desperation time. Winston on fourth down. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. In for the score. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Winston and the Bucs. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. To his knee goes Keenum, and that should be the... Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Tampa.